In this video, we will review the wireless app electronic dial indicator and pairing it with the VRS Versatile Advanced Indicator made in USA. So we're going to remove the core. That's the sister indicator. The core is more basic functionality indicator. That's not what this video is about. You can watch the core basic electronic dial indicator video to learn more about that product. Here once again, we've preloaded our app from the iOS store or the App Store for our iOS device. You can also find it in Google Play for your Android device. And here we're going to start by pairing. We're going to hit the second will come on the screen. Then we're going to hold the data button, which is the hold button, down until we enter the radio mode or menu. We're going to use the change button to toggle through the menu. So the off would mean the radio's off. It's not trying to transmit. It's not trying to do anything. Toggle to a rate of 0. 0 means you are manually sending information to the app. This is great for battery life if you're just going to send a couple readings. In order to do that, after you set this up as rate 0, you hit the second data button, so the second hold button, to send the data. The next one would be a rate of 0.5. 0.5 is one reading per every 2 seconds. So it's a fairly slow rate, but it's constantly sending the information to the app or your mobile device. Rate of 1 reading sent per second. And what we're going to set up here is a rate of 5 hertz, 5 readings per second. Hit the apply button, which is the hold, and you can see the radio icon is flashing. It's looking to pair with this electronic dial indicator app. So we're going to hit the blue button with the 2 arrows, and our wireless gauge number 1 pops up. We're going to hit the connect button, and our icon has stopped flashing. This means it's paired. There are 3 main menus. We have the scan, which we're in right now, where you can actually scan up to 7 devices at one time. You can also name them. We'll get into that later on in the indicator configuration page. We have logs. We don't have any logs right now. And measurement. So we set up for 5 readings per second. You can see it's really responsive. Nice range on this indicator of approximately 10 to 15 feet reliably. Much more than that, depends on your environment. If you're really doing it in an industrial environment, we also have an optional built-in long-range radio module. That we get from MicroRidge. We build it into our indicator. You purchase the receiver, connect it to your data collection system. You're ready to go. There's no extra cables or systems to plug in. It will not work with the app. This is a low range radio, really nice for its purpose. So once again, we're just reviewing the app. The indicator is in a separate video. On this screen, which is the main screen that you'll be using, there's a little icon up here that says is for indicator configuration. It's a little gear. We press that and we enter a different screen where we're going to see a bunch of great features here. One, we have the analog display. Looks more like a mechanical indicator. So if you go the arrow back button, it carries onto the main screen where you're mostly going to be using. If we want to turn that off, there we go. So let's go back into indicator configuration. Let me zero it on my gauge real quick. Love this feature. We have a 0. Boom. Hit the 0 button. 0 is my indicator remotely. Wonderful. I'll show that again. Let me just set it up. 0. 0 the indicator. Then there's this little bar here called Show Advanced Features. Now this is a setup menu. This is not something that you would have open. You would set up your indicator and then you would close the bar and you'd go back to the main screen. Here you can change your units inch to metric. Click on that, inch to millimeters. You can lock the gauge. So just check the box. The indicator lock came on the display. Now if I'm trying to change anything, the lock is blinking. Turn that off. You can change your direction, your freeze. We have freeze min, freeze max, or hold max, hold min, and hold freeze. Max is usually the standard. We have incremental, measuring mode, preset, and TIR. We have automatic logging. Let's just set that up right now. Automatic logging, we're going to set up for 1 reading to log per second. So we just set that by clicking the box. Here we've already set up some things. We're not going to go into every feature. You can play around with it, but it's fantastic how many features are built into this app that work directly with the indicator. Tolerance on and off. That will turn it off. My tolerance on my gauge is turned off now. Turn it on. The tolerance on the gauge came on. The LEDs are flashing. You can set up your resolution, your analog value. Let's say we wanted 10,000s. Once again, that would be that display. I just changed it. Go down here. We also can put a ratio in. I just checked the box. And now I have a ratio of 2:1. You can see this was reading approximately 600 thousandths before. Now it's 1.2. Unclick that box, the ratio is gone. Wonderful things that you can do with this. Put whatever ratio you want in there. Put any presets. If we want to do some basic setups right now, if you want to change the name of your wireless indicator. I want to change this to wireless demo. Hit save. Now I've saved the name of that pairing, if you would. You can see we hit tolerancing. Now the screen turned green. I can take that off. Tolerancing is off. Click it back on, and you will see the screen can go from green to red. Now, all of these things will carry back whatever I save. Wonderful stuff. If you want to go into presets, here we go to measurement mode. Let me go to preset. I have a preset of 2 millimeters. Why don't we just change that to 10 inches? Hit done. And oh, I didn't change that, did I? So let's go back. Hit 10. Done. Now we've got a preset of 10. So your preset is basically your 0. Every time I 0 it, it's going to go to 10. So really cool stuff. This is the setup page. A lot of information is going back and forth between the indicators. So this is not something you would normally want to be using. Then I can hide that. Once again, I can 0 the indicator. Really like that function. 0, which when I have a preset, obviously that is not going to change the display. Once again, I hit the sliding bar. It's exchanging information. And once again, this is why you don't go in and out all the time. So I'm going to go back in, hit my incremental mode, and go back to my normal display that I prefer. Scroll back. On this display, it's set up whatever we left. So I've got my tolerancing. Keep in mind, I can turn the gauge functions off. I don't want tolerance anymore. I just put the towel, but the towel is going to stay on this screen. So I just turned it off on my gauge, left it on the app. I can turn my auto off. I can do manual logging if I don't want to do automatic logging. You can see that you get a little pebble green rippling effect. When auto's on, it's green. Turn it off. Manual logging. Once again, you got your min and max values. So if I want to re-zero that, everything re-zeros, and then it will show my min max. Great product. The last major function is logs. So we did a wireless demo. That's the indicator we got paired. Let's delete this one. And we just deleted the other log. Here's the chart. I clicked on the chart screen. Once again, you see the chart. These are my logs. If I want to see that in a table form, hit the table. I can review my logs. I have my log readings, my date, and my time. If I want to share this information, check the box. Hit the share button. Type your email address. It will send it as a CSV file. Open it up in a spreadsheet. Cancel that. We'll delete that. Once again, I check the box. Hit the share button. I'm sharing my my log readings. Really nice app. Really like it. Probably missed a bunch of stuff, but you get the idea of going into the configurations. You can zero the gauge. Once again, is one of my favorites. Change it to an analog display. Mess with your setup. So you just saw it was reading. It was actually taking the information off of the gauge just now. And you notice before I turned off my towel, well, it turned it off here as well. And if I click it now, it's going to turn it on. You can see it's blinking. It's back on. I turned it off for both. Now I open the box. If I open and close it again, then it's going to turn it off. So this is a setup. Usually you don't bounce back and forth and press buttons from here to there. If you have questions, let us know. Great. There's a manual on this. And hope you enjoyed the free app in the App Store for iOS devices, your Apple iPads, iPhones, as well as for Android devices. Go to Google Play, electronic dial indicator.